A very good morning. Right, so it's now roughly quarter past 7, in fact, which is later than I would normally set out, but I had a customer collecting at 7, so I needed to delay. But actually today is not a gym day. Today is supposed to be a training session day, but personal trainer's birthday, and so he's given himself the day off. I did have the option of switching to tomorrow instead, but I didn't really fancy the session that we would do on a Friday. Like it's part cardio, part resistance, and that's not what I'm working on right now. I'm more interested in sort of just doing weights. Cardio I can do on my own, of just before leaving, before the customer arrived, I was on the bike. So I basically hit the target, my weight target that I wanted to, which is roughly between 46 and 48 kilograms, or rather between 45 and 48 kilograms. So I shouldn't really be doing anything too hardcore at this point because I don't want to burn anymore. It's all about toning, etc. So anyway, that's not why I'm here to talk about. I'm just saying that I'm going to the gym. In fact, actually I do go to the gym on a Thursday, but at 10 o'clock immediately after the training session I go to do stretching in the pool. So I've actually I'm going earlier than I would anyway, so it doesn't matter that I'm gonna get there sort of like 20 past 7, which means I won't get back to the flat until after 9 if I do everything that I would do ordinarily on a Thursday. Anyway, so that aside, this morning while I was pedaling, I put YouTube on and I was listening to a YouTuber, and this video is going to be about God, really. There's a lot I've stopped listening. I used to listen, when you're first hearing information, you listen. But then when it's the same information going out, you can stop. You have permission, if you like. You can give yourself permission to stop listening. So what was apparent to me, because people are complaining about smartphones spying on us, etc., or the devices spying on us and sending back information. And so what? You see, because the idea of sort of complaining about it and expressing fear and wanting to turn your back on city life and all of these things because too many CCTV cameras, all you're doing is you're just validating the supposed powers that be. You're validating them. You're saying to them, you people over there, you are rulers, have all the power, and we would like you to not take ours. Right? So it's like you make yourself weak and pathetic by saying, sort of like planning to get away to the countryside or wherever, as if they can't find you there. I've made a point. I like London, and I have no intention of leaving. So it is for me to be in a position where I can fend off whatever is incoming. And in order for me to do that, I said this is going to be about God. In order for me to do that, I need to be in a position where when God tells me to turn left, to turn right, to go back, to go forward, I have nothing tying me down to prevent me from doing so. But you see, the problem is, because of the way society is organized, you go to school, you leave school, you get a job, you retire, and then you die. And everything in between is tied up in mortgages, insurance, and pension. So it's money keeping everybody afloat. I give the example of my sister. It wouldn't have mattered how much money she has stored away for her pension, insurance, and whether she had a house or not. She still needs someone to look after her. The bottom line, I always say this in conversation, the bottom line is health. The bottom line is being able to stand on your own 2 feet in defense of yourself. Since the coronavirus thing, I've had people on Facebook inviting me to join groups with people who didn't take the vaccine, people who are trying to get back their freedom or whatever. I don't need to be a part of any group because I walk alone, I stand alone, but not alone. There is God. I've made it my business to cultivate, where are we now? 1999, I actively decided and embarked upon the mission to get to know God as the people in the Old Testament knew God, where they walked and talked with them. He directed them in their everyday lives. People say the world is the Western world, America, the UK, is like Sodom and Gomorrah. What did God do to Sodom and Gomorrah? You had Lot and his few people dwelling there who were righteous. What did God do? At such a time as he decided it was time for them to get out, he told them to get out. That is how God works. So the idea that we need to go and get a piece of land and, go back to living in the wild kind of thing, that is not the solution. As I said, whoever you're running from, they can come and find you right where you are. So, for me, with everything going on, I'm not concerned about anything. Nothing at all am I concerned about. I'm just living my life, and at such a time as God tells me, right, Liz, make that move. That is the time when I will move. Not before, not after. All I need to do is live my life in such a way that we have the example of Lot's wife and the people, the slaves leaving Egypt, how they longed for home. So Lot's wife was invested in Sodom and Gomorrah, and as a consequence she looked back and turned to a pillar of salt. If you believe this sort of thing, if you can believe it's fairy tales or whatever, but even so, you're supposed to not be so arrogant as to not see sense, or rather to learn the lessons from things. I've always said fairy tales are great for life lessons at any age, especially the ones where you have the good sister and the wicked sister, and shows you how both of them by their actions are rewarded. So, like I said, people will say the Bible is fairy tales, it's a load of nonsense, and these very people are the ones out there screaming and hollering about their rights being suppressed. What are they to do? As I said, I have no fear. I'm not worrying. It tells you that in the Bible as well. Take no thought for tomorrow, sufficient is the evil of the day. God will provide, kind of thing. So I do find it fascinating, especially there are some people and they have quite large YouTube channels, and I'm not saying they've set themselves up as leaders and advisors, but people go to them to be fed, right? And they have no clue. And I'm saying that from the perspective of somebody who actively went in pursuit of God and who suffered the consequences, because you have to suffer. You have to suffer and sacrifice on the way there to getting that relationship doesn't come for free. And if you were to ask me whether it was worth the suffering to have what I have now, which is nothing except joy and peace and good health, etc. Yeah, of course it's worth it, but it's for each individual to embark upon a search for truth, to find the right path for themselves. I mean, you hear people selling religion, always out preaching, Jesus is the only way, blah, 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 and so forth. They just make themselves ridiculous, because a person will not be receptive to anything unless it be the case that they are seeking, or, searching, seeking, whatever, same thing. Take, for example, people ask me up until yesterday, what is my secret? What would be the point of telling them my secret? I mean, from the perspective of how I manage to stay in shape, what would be the point of telling them if all they want are the results? They don't want to put the effort in. That's why I said getting to know God, developing a relationship with God. In the process, you're going to suffer. You have to suffer because it's like with anything. In order to no pain, no gain. In order to become a high-level Olympic medal-winning competitor, you have to train, and you have to train hard. So it's the same thing with God. People say, it's like, we are nothing without Jesus. God did not put us here on earth to be useless. And in a way, I find it funny now that people are fearing and panicking about whatever is incoming. I can only speak for myself in saying that I am not afraid, and bring it on, because I will look forward to trying out some of my spiritual weapons, because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against the principalities and powers of darkness. So I say bring it on, because it's only in the heat of battle that you get to find out what you're really made of. So I welcome that. I'm approaching the gym, so I'm going to wind up here by wishing you all a good day. And I'm not sort of like telling people not to choose religion or to forsake religion, but all I would say is the only sure way is by finding truth. It is by finding truth. It's actively looking for it, finding it, and putting it to good use. That is the only way. All right, so take care, look after yourselves. All right, let me give you an example. I would not be in shape if I didn't go to the gym. God wouldn't do it. I have to do it. The only thing God will do is give me the inspiration as to what exercises to do. That's all. Take care. Bye.